Hello there, and welcome to our presentation. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about Starbucks entering into the market in Lithuania and strategic reasons why they should explore this. Let's meet the team. My name is Aidan Purinton. I'm a senior and I'm studying management.
Hi, my name is Camille Burkhart. I'm a senior and I'm studying business management.
My name is Julia Hanselman. I'm a senior studying entrepreneurship.
When beginning this project, our group collectively chose an NMU themed company, if you will. We chose Starbucks. Obviously, former NMU student Howard Schultz was a main part in starting Starbucks and really bringing it to what it was today. Today, they operate in over 80 countries with thousands of locations worldwide, close to 40,000. Starbucks is a premium brand. It's known for high quality coffee and specialty beverages. They have a strong global presence with a consistent brand experience across all markets. Their logo is recognizable everywhere. It doesn't have any words, just the green angelic logo is very recognizable at Paramount Starbucks. People can spot it from a ways away, and they're an established enough business that everyone sees the sign that says, "Hey, that's Starbucks." Additionally, Starbucks is committed to policies such as sustainability and ethical sourcing, things that are becoming more and more necessary in today's marketplace and important when it comes to consumer tastes. Starbucks, as an established multinational, is always looking for new places to expand. And as a group, we've chosen a target country of Lithuania. Lithuania is a Baltic state located off the west coast of Russia. It's one of the three Baltic states. Lithuania has a strong cafe culture with coffee shops as key social gathering spaces in communities. Coffee is truly a keystone part of their communities and culture. Consumers in Lithuania really value a high quality coffee and authentic, intimate experiences in coffee shops. They want to have great tasting coffee and also they want to come together and meet great people. Additionally, Lithuania is a member of the European Union and has stable regulations and low trade barriers. The political environment is very stable and they're a well established, strong, growing economy. Consumer spending is on the rise, as well as GDP has risen above the inflation rate in previous years, dating back the entire previous decade. These strong economic factors, combined with cultural aspects and aspirations for the company, Starbucks is really primed for success in Lithuania. Beginning with the SWOT analysis, we'll start with strengths. Starbucks' strengths include the fact that they're an established multinational. They have over 40,000 global locations and they've expanded to dozens of different countries. They're very experienced when it comes to international business. Secondly, they have a very strong brand image. Their green logo of the goddess like image with the waves around it is immediately recognizable around the globe. People know what Starbucks logo looks like, and it can be spotted from a long ways away. The brand image is representative of their generally very positive feedback, and it's a great source of customer retention. Finally, coordinated supply chains across the globe help Starbucks succeed, and it's a strength for them expanding everywhere. They have their own coffee roasting, their own coffee growth areas, and they ship all of their own products from their own internal supply chain, controlling where products go, so they have the complete control over supply chain needs. Moving into potential Starbucks weaknesses and current weaknesses, inconsistent quality control, it's going to be a problem no matter what. Like Starbucks with 40,000 locations, it's very difficult to have exactly identical quality control. So, weaknesses typically are that quality control can differ depending on location. Secondly, Starbucks is a premium price point with drinks in the higher single digits, $6 to $7 to $8 typically is a normal price for a singular drink at Starbucks. You don't have quite a super low end, as in like, for example, like gas station coffee. You're only paying $2 or $3. it's a slightly higher end premium product, so you might be eliminating that lower end customer. Finally, the saturated market is definitely an issue in certain geographic areas. There are certain areas, specifically in the United States and other countries, that already have lots of Starbucks, where they already have plenty of Starbucks locations. And there's really not room for expansion. So it's almost a good kind of problem to have, but they've reached a point where it's becoming too much. As far as opportunities go, expansion in new and developing markets is always something they can explore, such as we're recommending in Lithuania. Also, technological integration can always increase as technology improves. Things like AI technologies can be integrated and create further cost savings. Finally, expanding product diversification is another way Starbucks can grow their business. Obviously, by always having new opportunities and differentiating themselves is a great way to make their company better. Finally, changes in consumer behavior are also a potential threat. They're the first of many threats. Consumers are hard to predict and often can be influenced by many external factors that Starbucks has no control over. Secondly, fluctuating costs of supplies driven by external factors such as tariffs, trade wars, can increase the prices of or can increase costs for Starbucks, which ultimately could increase customer prices or decrease margins. Finally, the coffee market does have intense competition, which is another ongoing threat for Starbucks. There are plenty of competitors. Domestic ones would include Dunkin' Donuts, other popular coffee locations like that. Additionally, they compete against local coffee shops, sole independent locations that really thrive on a community atmosphere. Starbucks also actively competes with them. Next, we'll move on to the pestle analysis.
Utilizing the pestle analysis, we were able to determine that Lithuania offers a stable, predictable market. This is due to its incorporation into the EU and the legal and economic institutions that are provided. These protections support strong operational control, however, they do increase the costs associated with doing business. Economically, wages are rising and people are spending more money, which supports Starbucks' premium pricing strategy. The increased costs associated with the labor market put an increased pressure on efficient management. Starbucks will have to shift its focus from customizable coffee to a simple, high quality offering to better accommodate local preferences. Technologically, Lithuania lacks the infrastructure Starbucks is used to working with, so they will have to pivot away from the digital offerings to a more traditional strategy. This will provide the best foundation to build upon later. The EU and Lithuania prioritize strict environmental regulation. This allows Starbucks to highlight its sustainability efforts and expand them over time. The main risks overall are geopolitical uncertainty due to the border with Russia and the differences in business culture. Lithuania provides a strong market with potential for success for Starbucks. The high level of control allows for a wholly owned subsidiary entry method, while the risks require balancing of operational costs and adapting local preferences.
Moving on to the aspects of Lithuanian culture, coffee is truly an integral aspect of the Lithuanian culture. It's very similar to coffee culture throughout Europe, where it's a coffee shops are a social environment, a keystone of community and connection where people come together. This connection is facilitated through the coffee shop being a warm area with rich ambiance on the interior of all stores, making people feel welcome. You want to focus on a localized, intimate feeling that makes allows people to truly connect and also removes them from the corporate feel that some Starbucks stores may have. You want to truly make customers feel like they're in an independently owned shop and not in a global chain like Starbucks. This can be done also by emphasizing local art, bringing in paintings, pictures, photography from local artists, really bringing in the local flair. Additionally, playing off older or traditional architecture, so maybe straying away from a new construction using existing buildings or new construction in a historically correct or culturally significant or similar way to Lithuanian fashion. Finally, creativity. As you can see in the three pictures on this slide, they're all slightly different versions of Lithuanian coffee shops that are very unique with interesting choices in background, warm lighting, and an inviting feel, almost like you're entering someone's living room more than a coffee shop. Moving into market share, Lithuania is a unique environment, especially compared to the domestic conditions that Starbucks is used to in its home country, the United States. In Lithuania, the market is highly fragmented. No singular company holds more than a 5% market share in the coffee shop market. The largest market share is held by Caffeine LT with approximately 100 locations, but their market share still sits about 5%. Vero Coffee is another large chain competitor, and they have a similar supply chain strategy to Starbucks with integrated growing and roasting and things like that. A majority of the current shops in Lithuania are small, independently owned ones. They they value a unique connection with their customers, and their customers feel close and also a sense of community while inside their stores. Lists shown below are the two main major market share coffee shops in Lithuania, as previously mentioned. Caffeine LT is in the bottom left. Vero Cafe is in the bottom right.
Here's the entry mode and competitive positioning strategy we're going to use. Starbucks should enter Lithuania using a wholly owned subsidiary to maintain full control over branding, quality, and customer experience. The company will differentiate itself through specialty drinks, customization, and a localized store atmosphere that blends global brand consistency with Lithuanian cafe culture. A wholly owned strategy has proven successful for Starbucks in Europe in the past. It allows for higher long term profitability and stronger operational control. Lithuania's coffee culture, high coffee prices, and familiarity with multinational brands makes it an attractive market for premium positioning. Some potential risks we face when entering this market is high competition from established local cafes, and regional chains create a low margin for error during market entry. Cultural differences and failure to localize the experience could lead to weak consumer adoption and damage brand perception. Now I'm going to go over our marketing plan. For product, Starbucks should enter Lithuania competitively by differentiating itself through locally adapted seasonal drinks, such as poppy seed and cranberry. These reflect cultural traditions and create urgency through limited time offerings. This approach mirrors its successful strategy in Japan, where unique localized flavors and seasonal releases have helped the brand stand out in a strong cafe culture, and has attracted both local consumers and tourists. Now we are going to discuss pricing. Lithuania currently offers the second highest price of coffee in all of Europe, so Starbucks can maintain its current pricing strategy when entering Lithuania, due to the country's relatively high coffee prices and low cost of living. This makes the premium pricing feasible without needing to adjust significantly for the market. Now we will be discussing place. Starbucks currently offers in store retail, and Starbucks should use company owned stores in high traffic cities when launching, cities such as Vilnius, Kaunas, and Kapadia. By combining in store, drive through, and mobile ordering, this will enhance the convenience and differentiate itself from local competitors. The final part of our marketing plan is promotion. Starbucks should build excitement for its Lithuania launch by leveraging specialty drinks and using a mix of traditional and digital promotion. This includes hiring influencers who are popular in Lithuania, maybe sending them care packages to show off what products they will be selling in Lithuania, and using streaming platforms to run ads such as Hulu or Netflix, and running ads in magazines and newspapers. Next, I'm going to discuss our operations plan. When looking at supply chain logistics, Starbucks should maintain its global sourcing model and utilize EU distribution hubs to efficiently supply Lithuania. This provides leveraging with low trade barriers and lean inventory strategies to ensure consistent product availability. For staffing, Starbucks should fill entry level roles with local employees, while leveraging its experience in the Nordic region and hire on regional managers from there. This will help ensure consistency and quality in training. Starbucks should use its Starbucks Experience training program, adapted to emphasize barista expertise and quality to meet Lithuanians' expectations.
When it comes to starting operations in a brand new country, a localized strategy is often what a company needs in order to cater to local consumers. In the case of Lithuania, there's a few major elements we can focus on in order to not only feel as though we are part of Lithuanian culture, but also make Lithuanian consumers feel comfortable and want to come to Starbucks facilities. That starts off with focusing on an intimate, independent feel. Like discussed previously, we discussed Lithuanian culture. You want to make consumers feel like they're not just in a corporate Starbucks location. You want them to make them feel like they're in a one of a kind, unique coffee shop with a warm, welcoming ambiance. Additionally, they want to further embrace culture by using historic architecture and local art in their stores. Architecture can be featured on the inside or outside of the building, or can involve possibly using or repurposing old buildings. Local art would include depictions like the one on the top right of this page, the Lithuanian painting of a mountain. Additionally, they want to lean on things that make them different. Customization and the customizable nature of drinks at Starbucks is one of their main factors of differentiation. By letting customers know how much they can pick and choose at Starbucks locations, that might be able to set us apart in the Lithuanian marketplace. Fourth, we want to look at exploring partnerships with other local businesses. This can include partnerships with local artists or even like a bakery to make certain local items. You could choose to be like a small marketplace, cater some homemade goods, handmade or sweaters, knit items, small artisan materials, things like that to make the community feel like it's truly a coming together place. You're supporting the local area, and in return, they'll come and support you. Finally, a final localized strategy is conforming to the environmental initiatives in Lithuania's progressive nature. We'll touch a little bit more on this moving forward, but by being a leader and adapting to these roles, it'll make us more easily receptive to Lithuanian culture and respected, even as an American based outsider.
Our estimated startup cost per store ranges from $300,000 to $800,000 a year, including equipment, staffing, inventory, and marketing. These operating expenses average about 48.7% of total revenue in the EMEA region. Typical annual gross profit ranges from $350,000 to $550,000, depending on location performance. Average profit before taxes is around $178,000 per store, with potential up to $200,000. Expected break-even periods is approximately 3 to 5 years due to high initial investment and expansion costs. Additionally, ongoing costs include training programs, POS systems, and operational support. Lithuania's coffee market is growing with 6% projected growth in 2026 and 3.66 annual growth rate, supporting long-term profitability. A few ethical initiatives we've come up with is strengthening transparency and sourcing through third-party supplies, full compliance with EU due diligence and regulations, expanding traceability tools so customers can track coffee origins, partner with certified ethical sourcing organizations to reinforce credibility, and publishing annual sustainability and ethics reports specific to the Lithuanian market. Some environmental initiatives. Reusable cup incentive programs, such as discounts or loyalty rewards, enables customers to use reusable products and reduce waste. Significantly reducing single-use plastics and packaging, install a clearly labeled in-store recycling and waste separation systems, transition to renewable energy sources, measure and reduce carbon emissions, partnering with Lithuanian suppliers such as bakeries and dairies to reduce transportation emissions, and set measurable waste reduction and recycling targets, known as KPIs. A few social and labor initiatives offer wages above Lithuanians' minimum wage, full compliance with EU labor laws, working hours, benefits, and safety, employee rights, including unionization and open dialogue, provide training, career development, and advancement opportunities, promoting diversity, inclusion, and a positive work culture, and implement employee well-being programs specifically through mental health and work-life balance. A few stakeholder engagement initiatives we've looked at is appointing a local CSR sustainability manager in Lithuania, establishing regular stakeholder consultations, specifically through the community, NGOs, or regulators, collaborate with environmental organizations on sustainability campaigns, engage customers through transparency campaigns and sustainability education, and build partnerships with local communities through events and outreach programs. Governance and accountability initiatives. Develop Lithuania's specific CSR goals. This includes tracking performance using KPIs, known as waste reduction, employee satisfaction, and local sourcing, publishing regular process reports to stakeholders, ensuring compliance with Lithuanian and EU laws of labor, environment, and taxation, and creating the internal accountability systems for store-level CSR performance. Business competitive strategy initiatives are business and competitive strategies that differentiate the brand through strong sustainability positioning, localizing menu offerings using Lithuanian ingredients where possible, highlighting ethical sourcing and environmental commitments in marketing, improve operational efficiency through waste and energy reduction, and build long-term customer loyalty through responsible business practices. The closing takeaways for this presentation: using a wholly owned subsidiary when integrating Starbucks into the Lithuanian market allows maximum brand control and operational agility. It establishes a third place for Lithuanian urban professionals. Direct ownership allows for strict adherence to Starbucks global standards. Utilization of existing hubs eliminates the cold start logistical burden. And the ability to pivot products and store designs based on feedback builds cultural resonance and a brand that respects Lithuanian traditions.
On my and the behalf of all of my group members, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to listen to our presentation. Hopefully, these insights have been impactful to you, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us via email. Thank you.